guys, and welcome to episode 4 of reading South African celebrity birth charts without any pre-context. So in today's episode, we're going to read Priddy Ugly's birth chart. So let's get into it. So according to Google, Ricardo Maloyi, aka Priddy Ugly, was born on the 2nd of April 1992, making him a 12 degrees Aries sun. We don't know what time he's born, so he could be a Pisces moon, a late degrees Pisces moon, or an early degrees Aries moon. But regardless, he was born on a new moon. Yeah, he was born on a new moon. So if he's born on a Pisces moon, then his moon will be conjuncting Venus. Moon conjunct Venus people are very lovable, and they usually have a good relationship with their mothers, because Venus and moon placements are how we were nurtured by feminine figures. So he would have, therefore, if this is his chart, then he probably has a really good relationship with his mother, making him have a good relationship with women and having more empathy for women. Also, considering that Venus is exalted in Pisces, so he has an abundance of love, and he's very emotional when he gets into romantic relationships. But also the woman that he attracts, because Venus in the moon in a man's chart, or a more masculine presenting human's chart, is the kind of feminine figures that they would want to attract in their lives, and then how they would also relate to them, and how they would take care of them, that kind of vibe. So having moon conjunct Venus, especially in a man's chart, is super 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 lovely, because once again, they're very giving and very emotionally nurturing, so watch out for that. If you have a moon conjunct Venus and you're a guy or you're a masculine person, then I love that for you. Hit me up. But if he is born during this time when the moon was transiting through Aries, then that means his sun and his moon are conjuncting. They are in the same sign. And that would entail that he cannot hide his emotions. People with the same sun and the same moon cannot hide how they feel. It's like they wear their emotions on their sleeves, even if they are a Capricorn sun moon, or Scorpio sun moon, or an Aquarius sun moon. These people find it very difficult to hide their emotions, whether they like it or they're not. But the good part about this, very similar to having your sun sextile your moon or your sun trine your moon, is that you have a good innate compass. You know how to direct yourself, and it's Aries, guys. We know Aries are the individuals, Aries are the leaders. So it's there's no there's no friction between his actions and his emotions, so he can back himself up in situations where he needs to make a decision, or when he needs to be sure about how he feels. It's he trusts his own judgment before he trusts anybody else's judgment. So that's the first two aspects we see in Priddy Ugly's chart. Okay, third aspect that I saw in his chart was his sun in Aries squaring his Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn, right? Usually people with a square with Uranus have severe dad issues. Either their fathers were abusive, or they didn't have a relationship with their father, or their father was in and out of their lives, or just something hectic with the father. And also because Neptune is here, maybe there was more distance with the father, so this creates people who are born not born, but from a young age they learn to be more independent. And he's an Aries, so I feel from a younger age he had to learn to really hold things down, especially at home. He's probably felt because anything aspecting Uranus, Uranus is all about change, uniqueness, individuality, the masses, how you interact with the masses. So I feel with this specific square, especially because square is a harsh aspect, he probably grew up feeling a very ostracized or alienated from people, kind of feeling he's the black sheep. But I feel Aries sun signs already feel that, so it just made it even more for him, where he felt he was so different from everybody that he was growing up in. I mean, he felt he had to be a super individual, and super owning his what's the word, being different kind of thing, as a means of survival, but also just as a means of being more independent. Also, he has Mars opposing Jupiter, right? So with this aspect, I see it in people who have fluctuating fluctuating energy levels, right, where your energy just goes up and down. But at the same time, I feel like because he's an Aries, he knows how to hype himself up. I know Aries sun signs have that thing where if they feel low, they have an innate thing to like give themselves energy. And this could even be for the laziest Aries. Like they know how to hype themselves up to do things, you know. But having Mars opposed Jupiter specifically, I see this in people who have like energy levels that fluctuate a lot. And then when they feel energetic to do something, they will do it with the maximum energy. And then it takes a dip as well. And then he has Venus trining Pluto, and this is a really nice aspect for people in relationships, especially because you will have especially in water signs, because these people have a really good way of drawing out your true emotions and like how you really feel about things in a very like they know how to draw out your deepest darkest emotions and like really make you face it and make you transform, but for the better. So it's not like if it was a square, then it would be like a little bit more harsh, because then you would draw out deep emotions from people in more chaotic, somewhat cruelish ways. But with with the trine, you draw these out with more harmonious ways, you know, especially like with care, that kind of thing. But overall, with my interview with the girls that I had, who both had Aries and Pisces placements, I've noticed that Aries and Pisces placements really flip from being aggressive, impulsive, boss bitch, I'm the leader, I'm the boss or whatever, to super sensitive, super sweet. They just want to be careful, they just want to be held, and they just want to be like taken care of. But I think with this, because it is like a semi square, so the learning process with, you know, he's Aries and he's Aries and he's Pisces placements is just to learn how to be, learn when to go with the flow when it's necessary, and then learn when to create the flow when it's necessary. I think that's the overall message with Aries and Pisces placements, and I think that's something that he has also had to learn, especially within his relationships, like his interpersonal relationships, you know. But overall, I think if you really had to be with Priddy Ugly, he's like a very sweet guy, you know. His Pisces placement will make you like, if you interact with him, I feel like he's like one of those guys where you'll feel like, he's going with the flow, but you feel like he's very wise and he'll give you advice about things, you know, and he'll emotionally comfort you, but also emotionally understand you. But on the flip side though, of course, you're gonna kind of feel his unhinged side. Also, I want to mention, like, having your Mercury retrograde, if you look at your birth chart and you have this R, meaning that you were born during a Mercury retrograde. I know people with this placement usually have issues with communicating, and his Mercury is at 0 degrees, so it's still a baby. So I think he may have, even growing up, may have had like issues with really verbalizing and expressing himself in a way that people understood him. Because being born with a Mercury retrograde, you really have to take the time to, like, it kind of makes you have like a Mercury in Taurus, where whenever you speak to somebody, you have to take time to really understand the information, and then also take your time with, like, you know, putting words together to say something, and like have you be understood. Because I know people with Mercury retrograde, like, when they say something or if they speak impulsively, they're usually misunderstood, you know. So these are the people that have to take time to really like think about what it is that they want to say, for sure, you know. So even with him, like, you'll probably get the sense that he's somewhat of a mysterious guy, and he kind of is a mysterious guy, you know. Like, yes, he's Pisces placements, but it's really just because of this. He's Mercury retrograde, you know. You kind of get the sense like, wow, like, what is he thinking? And you won't really know what the fuck he's thinking. But at the end of the day, he's also just doing him. He's just doing him, you know. He's like Aries sun, so he's all energetic and like he's fun to be around. I'm sure he's a really fun dad also. But yeah, guys, that's Priddy Ugly. I think he's a very super chill guy, and he's super wise as well, and very lovely. So yeah, if you guys would like a birth chart reading from me, hit me up and we will book a schedule and a time to do your reading. Happy belated birthday, Priddy Ugly, and see you guys in my next episode. Bye.